Oliver, please take it away.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Oliver. Thanks for the introduction, Daniela. I would like to welcome everybody to our first Jobs to be Done virtual masterclass. I'm glad to be your moderator today and tomorrow morning. So over the next couple of hours and this morning and tomorrow morning, you'll be hearing about jobs to be done and outcome-driven innovation. And we want to introduce you to these two concepts in order to help you develop digital and disruptive strategies in times of changing customer needs. That's going to be our goal today and tomorrow.
When we talk about innovation, it's important to have the same language, to have the same understanding on what innovation is. So let us start with a definition of innovation. In our viewpoint, it is the process of devising solutions that address unmet customer needs. What sounds like a very logical and simple thing turns out to be tricky in its execution. And let us start with an example here. If you want to bring together, so to say, solutions, ideas, and needs, we can start with ideas and with solutions. And here, this process is inherently flawed. Companies either ask customers for the solutions they want or for brainstorming ideas, iterate them and pivot on them. And very often they fail to assess ideas against all the needs they impact. Because once we don't know the needs up front, it is very, very hard to find out which would be the right ideas to follow. As ideas typically, there is not a shortage of ideas. The critical thing with ideas first approaches is that you never know if you have the right ideas already on the table or not. On the other hand, when we want to start with needs, to understand needs first and then create ideas and solutions, this approach applies pretty much marketing one-on-one logic. But while it makes intuitive sense, it historically fails to yield significantly better results. Why is this the case? So what is the problem when starting needs first? And the problem is that there isn't agreement on what a need is at all. You can see here on this slide a small poll results that we did in one of our recent events.
What I would like you to do, and not now, because I don't think the time today would be sufficient to do it, but maybe if you have time this afternoon, I would really like to invite you to think about the job that you have defined for your customers, and try to create a job map, try to establish your role in that job, and think about what are the parts of the job that the customer is trying to get done that we are not covering today and that we could consider. And there is a template in your workbook that you can use. Of course, you can use your own. Keep in mind that you don't have to adhere to the 8 steps that are defined here. In many cases, we find that you need a few more steps, and that's perfectly okay. Or you want to break up a step into multiple steps to give you sufficient granularity in terms of what you're trying to achieve in that step, and that's absolutely okay. Typically, we would have like 10 to 16 steps in any job map once it's done and ready to go. So with that, and with that invitation to you to try this, if you have time this afternoon for your business, that would prepare you for our conversation tomorrow.
And what happens then is you will find in your landscape, in the opportunity landscape, different segments with different needs profiles. And in this example here, you can see we have found 3 segments of customers. They have different sizes. 19% of those customers are rather overserved, 57% are more or less appropriately served, and 24% of the customer population is highly underserved in that example. So such a picture of the market might call for different types of strategies. A classical sustaining strategy would be feasible for the appropriately served segment of 57% in the market. But having said that, on the other hand, we see 19% of the customer population totally overserved, which would probably call for a disruptive strategy only for that segment. And that could mean that you come up with distinct products, distinct services, stripped down value offerings that is targeted for those overserved customers. And on the other hand, of course, the underserved customers might call for a differentiated strategy where you are able to charge more to get the job done better for these 24% of customers. And by doing so, you will end up with a growth strategy that really is anchored in the true customer needs profiles in a market, with different consequences to your product and service development up until your business model development, of course. Another example that showcases exactly the same thing here, a differentiated strategy for this underserved segment and a disruptive strategy for a totally overserved segment. So yeah, data may look different in any market, but this is basically how you want to discuss it.